gamers, lock and load your magazines, move your select lever from safe to semi, and watch your lane. Because today, we have missions to complete and alien bugs to kill. But these aren't any ordinary bugs. These are the granddaddies of them all, the Xenomorphs, and they mean business. So strap in because we're about to drop into a game of Aliens Bug Hunt. Hello everyone, welcome to Gaming Solo. I'm Rob, your solo gamer friend. And today we're playing Aliens Bug Hunt, designed by Ryan Miller and published by Upper Deck Entertainment. So strap up them boots, gamers, because once we're in, we're not leaving until the mission's complete and some bugs are dead, as you join me in another Gaming Solo playthrough. The area is set up and ready for play. Along the bottom you have are the character boards. Each character comes with two grunts. We have Vasquez in green, Hudson in yellow, Hicks in blue, and Drake in red, and I'll explain their special abilities as we activate each character. The little white token pool there are the wound tokens. The bottom are the face cards that will activate each character as we flip a card. In the middle are the Xenomorph cards. They get added to the deck every time the Xenomorph phase track starts over. To the left, Xenomorph cards are our tracking cards. You flip them over and it tells you where to place Xenomorphs and how many. At the very top are the tiles, and as you progress throughout the game, you will flip a tile out at random and place it where your characters go. Then of course we have our character starting board along with the Xenomorph phase actions. To the right here we have are the missions. We randomly select 3 missions. The first mission is obtain video evidence, and you can activate that anytime. You move all Xenomorphs in a single tile to an adjacent tile so that we can get rid of them. The second mission is shut down the main reactor. You can activate that anytime, and it is ready. It can ready any character. And then you have secure nerve gas as a final mission. It also can be activated anytime. And you destroy up to 3 Xenomorphs in a single tile that does not contain a squad. So those are actually kind of good objectives to have. You can activate those objectives until you find an objective token. And you place the token on it, then you can activate that whenever you choose to. Well, you get 1 activation per token until you spend all 3 tokens are on that tile. And that is the board setup. Alright, ready to begin the very first round. And on the very first round, you have to place the Xenomorph token on the hive track at number 1. Anytime the token lines up with the Xenomorph icon, then you have to take the Xenomorph phase actions. There are 3 actions it takes: attack, movement, and spawn. And you have to do those in that exact order. So for an attack, the Xenomorph, if it is sharing a tile with the Marine, then it attacks the Marines. If you have 3 Xenomorph on the same tile with Marines, then those 3 Xenomorph automatically give you 3 damage. So the damage is consistent with the amount of Xenomorphs you're sharing a tile with. The next action is movement. All Xenomorphs not sharing a tile with the Marines will move. They either move towards the sector exit by 1 tile, or if they're adjacent to a Marines, they will automatically move into the Marines tile. When they move into the Marines tile, they do not attack. They either attack or they move. They don't get to do both. And attack is always a priority. And finally, the last one is spawn. You spawn more Xenomorphs. And that happens as you flip over the tracking card and you take a look at it, and the tracking card tells you where to put the Xenomorphs. And each white dot represents 1 Xenomorph. So on this card, it's telling me I need to put 2 Xenomorphs in Sector 1 and 2 in Sector 5. So I'll place these Xenomorphs right here. The reason why they're going here is there are not any tiles out. Xenomorphs spawn on blank spaces at the back of tiles. The only time that changes is if there's a spawn symbol on that tile and it has a 2 and you have to say spawn 5 Xenomorphs in Sector 5. You will go down the tiles and you only spawn Xenomorphs on the tiles that have spawn symbols. You only spawn the maximum number that's on that tile. So if it has 2 Xenomorphs there and it has a symbol 2 on there, then you put 2 more Xenomorphs out, which brings it up to 4. Then you take the remaining 3 Xenomorphs and put them at the end unless there's another spawn symbol on another tile after that. And you'll see that in play as we go along. On the bottom of the card there may be text, and that text will tell you other actions you have to take, and most of the time they are negative actions. And that is a Xenomorph phase and how that happens. And you'll see all those actions take place really soon. Now that that is completed, now you have your phase card deck, and it has 3 cards per character, 1 wild card, and one Xenomorph card in here per character for starting. And as the game progresses, you will add more Xenomorph cards to the deck, which gives them more movement, more attack, and more spawns. And that's how you begin begin your first round of play. So the first thing we do is we flip over a card, and it's red. Red represents Drake. So Drake has 3 firepower and 3 armor. His special abilities is when a Xenomorph moves into his area on his tile, you can deplete him to have him shoot at those Xenomorphs. So that's good to have during the Xenomorph phase. So Drake can move. He gets 3 movement points just like every other character. If you move from a tile to a non-tile area to reveal a tile, that depletes all of your movement points regardless of how many you have left. If you move into a tile from another tile and you had to cross over rubble, then that takes 2 of your action movement points. Regardless if it's rubble on one tile or both tiles, it still only costs you 2 movement points. If you move through a breach or just from one tile to the next that does not have any rubble on either tile, it costs you 1 movement point. And you can continue moving until all your points have been depleted. So right now Drake has 3 points, but he's moving into a new area, so he has to flip over a tile. And that will end his movement portion. And when you lay tiles, or when you pull tiles, you have to look at a tile and you're going to look for 4 things. You're going to look at the center for an objective icon. Then you're going to look for the Xenomorph symbol, which is a green egg with the number in it. That number tells you how many Xenomorphs to spawn on that tile. The third thing you're going to look for is if there's rubble on the tile. And then finally, you're going to look at the little white area representing light glowing through an open doorway. That open doorway will line up with the area you came from. And those are the 4 things you look for. Now Drake has done his movement. His card, only thing on it is rubble and for all 3 sides and an open doorway. He can't take any more moves though because, like I said, he laid a new tile out. So now he has 4 more actions to take. He can either shoot, capture, breach, or reload. Shoot is you engage Xenomorphs in your tile or in a tile next to you. You can capture the objective token if it's on the tile. You can lay down a barrier for your breach action, or you can reload any depleted characters on your player board. So right now, there's nothing for him to shoot at. There are not any objective tokens, and he doesn't need to reload. So he's going to lay down a breach on one of these openings just so he can move easier into another tile when it gets laid. So he's going to put it here because we want to move north to take out the Xenomorphs there, and we want to move south to take out those Xenomorphs. Because if those Xenomorphs breach the sectors, it increases the hive track, increasing the chances of us doing another Xenomorph phase. And that is how actions are taken during the turn sequence. So Drake just completed his turn. He did not deplete himself because he didn't engage any Xenomorphs. So we flip over another card. And this is yellow. Yellow is Hudson. Hudson has 2 firepower and 4 armor. And his special ability is he gets an additional 2 firepower if there are 2 or fewer characters left in his squad. So pretty much if one of his grunts are killed, his firepower increases to 2. So he is going to move 1, and then he's going to move north. So we're going to flip over another tile. And this tile has everything on it I just explained previously. So we have the objective icon, so we lay down objective token. There are 2 areas of rubble there, but we can't cross into sector 2, so it's only here, but there's not any rubble there. And we have to lay out 2 Xenomorphs because there's the green egg or the green circle with the Xenomorph and a number 2. And so now Hudson is now in that area. So now he has a choice. He can either shoot, capture, lay down a breach. He doesn't need to reload. Once you enter a space with the Xenomorphs, you cannot leave that space unless you're sharing the tile with another character or there's a character adjacent to you. So right now, if Hudson was able to move, he could move out of there back into a Drake's area, but he just finished his movement. He laid a new tile out, so his movement is over. So now he has to either take one of the 3 actions available to him. He is going to shoot. So his grunts, all the grunts have a firepower 2 and an armor of 4. There are 2 Xenomorphs there, so he needs to do a 2 firepower. He cannot fire into adjacent tile yet because there's not a tile there. So even though there are Xenomorphs sitting there, until a tile goes down, that area is untouchable when you're engaging the enemy. So right now he's going to only use the center grunt to fire. Reason why I'm using the center is because the lead grunt, whoever's in the first place on each of the player boards, anytime the Xenomorphs attack, they attack the first target. Where when you attack a Xenomorph and if they get a chance to retaliate, they attack whoever attacks them. So you're going to roll the dice, and what you're looking for when you roll the dice, you have 3 symbols on the dice. There are 4 blank spaces. 4 blank spaces represent that the enemy has been killed. You killed the Xenomorph. If you see the 3 white claw marks, that represents that you missed the Xenomorph, and the claw marks represent him trying to run away and scratching into the floor as he's digging his feet and trying to run as fast as he can. And then you have the red mouth portion of the Xenomorph. That means the Xenomorph attacked back and caused you damage. So I depleted my center grunt. He has 2 firepower against 2 of the Xenomorphs. We're going to roll, and we have 1 killed. So that Xenomorph goes back to your dice pool because you killed it. And the other one shows the red mouth. Therefore, the grunt takes 1 wound token, and you lay it right on the grunt. And you gotta make sure you depleted the grunt, so you cover the ready so the depleted is exposed. And that ends that grunt's turn, or Hudson's turn. Flip over another card. It's a Xenomorph. So you go up 1 on the hive track. There are not any Xenomorph symbols next to it, so you don't have to take any further actions other than move it up 1. And now we flip another card over again, and it's another Xenomorph. And there are 4 in this deck, so getting close to activating 1. Let's flip another card over, a 3rd Xenomorph. That is bad luck to do 3 in a row. So now we go into the Xenomorph phase again. So first one is attack. There's a Xenomorph here attacking Hudson's team, so this lead grunt takes a damage token. And you always keep the damage tokens skull up. You do not flip them over until they're filled up on armor, and I'll explain that when that happens. This is guaranteed to happen during this game. Now we go to the movement phase. These Xenomorphs will move into this space here. Then these Xenomorphs, they escape, causing you to move up 1 on the hive track because 1 sector was breached. Regardless of how many Xenomorphs breached, it's just one marker per breach sector. These 2 dice no longer go back in your dice pool. So therefore, you take them out of play because you can't use them anymore. And that will, then we spawn more Xenomorphs. So we flip over the tracker, and we spawn 4 Xenomorphs in Sector 2. So we take 4 Xenomorphs, and we look at the cards. There's a Xenomorph icon in Sector 2 on the first tile, so we drop 2 more Xenomorphs there. And then we take the other 2 and put them in the space where a tile will go eventually. And that's how you spawn them when you have Xenomorph icons on your tiles, and then none after that. And there's not any text at the bottom of the card, so that ends that action. Now we flip over another card, and another Xenomorph goes up 1 to 6 on the hive track. Blue. Blue is Hicks. So Hicks has 2 firepower, 4 armor. And whenever your squad is attacked, you can deplete Hicks to shoot before your squad takes damage. So pretty much during that last phase when the Xenomorphs attacked, if it was Hicks that got attacked, he could have shot first hoping to kill any before they attacked him. So Hicks is going to move 1. He's going to end his movement there. There are 5 Xenomorphs in the next space. So I want to deplete all of Hicks's characters. And we're going to attack all 5 Xenomorphs right there for a total of 6 firepower. So we'll have 1 left over we don't get to use anyways. And we're going to roll. Now when you attack Xenomorphs in another tile and you miss, every one you don't kill comes into your tile that you attack from. But they do not attack because they move. Remember, if they move, they don't attack. So it's kind of like a free chance to kill as many as you can. And we killed all but 1. This one, so he moves into this tile here. And these are killed, and they go back into the pool. And we'll flip over the next card. It is yellow. That is Hudson. So Hudson, I think I'm going to use Hudson to attack that Xenomorph. So he's going to has 2 firepower, but he's going to attack 1, and he killed it. So therefore, all the Xenomorphs that can do any damage are now dead and off the board. And that ends Hudson's turn. I did not move, because you move then attack. You don't get to attack then move. Drake gets to move again. So Drake is going to expose a new tile. It has the Xenomorph symbol on it and a 1. So we put 1 Xenomorph on that tile. Drake moves into it. Drake's going to deplete his middle grunt. He's going to attack that Xenomorph. And that is dead. So the chances you kill the Xenomorph are pretty good, since 4 of the 6 sides in the dice are kills. Now flip over another card. It is Drake again. Drake is going to move into escort them Xenomorphs. And luckily for him, there's nothing else to spawn. So he moves here. And he's going to attack those 2. He's going to deplete himself for this attack. And he takes 2 hits. That is not good. Drake has an armor 3, so he's already getting close to maxing out. And the bad part is you can't heal. At least I didn't see any heal cards in here yet. So once you get those damage tokens, that's it. Flip over another card. Blue. So Hicks gets to go again. Hicks is completely depleted. So first, before I reload Hicks, I'm going to move Hicks into this space here. Cost 2 action points because he crossed over rubble. Then he's going to reload his entire team, so he's available for next round. Green. Green is Vasquez. Vasquez gets +2 firepower when there are no Xenomorphs in her tile. So when she engages another tile, right now her firepower is 2, but when she engages Xenomorphs in adjacent tiles, she has a firepower 5, and she has an armor of 5. So Vasquez is going to move 1, 2, and she's going to use her +2, exhaust herself. Actually, no, that's a waste. I don't know why I would do that. She's going to use her grunt to attack these 2 Xenomorphs. She killed 1. This one moves into her tile, but because it moves, it does not attack. We'll flip over another card. It is blue for Hicks. Hicks is going to, I'm going to have Hicks explore. I think we're just going to go out to here. And we spawn 1 Xenomorph. So Hicks is going to use his grunt and engage that Xenomorph. And it misses. Flip over another card. It is yellow for Vasquez. Vasquez is going to, we're going to engage that Xenomorph. She's going to use her lead grunt. Actually, no, I'm going to use Vasquez instead. I don't want that grunt to take damage if he doesn't have to, since he gets damage for every attack from a Xenomorph. And it's a kill. Flip over another card. It is green. That is for Vasquez again. So she is going to, I'm going to move her over to here, which was 2 actions because she crossed over rubble. And I think she's going to drop a breach. Flip over another card. It is green for Vasquez again. Got to kind of keep mental track so you know what actions you can take if you have any more left in there. So now we have, I think I'm going to drop a breach here also. I know I'm putting a lot of breaches down, but when it's time to exit, you want to go as fast as possible because you can't leave the game until you've captured all 9 objectives. Actually, I'm not going to drop a breach. I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm going to reload. So I'm going to reload her. I'm going to keep her where she's at. And we flip over one more card. and it is the wild card. It's called Lieutenant Commander's Choice. He gets to choose a squad, and I think I'm going to put it on. I think he's going to choose Drake's team, so Drake can just reload. So Drake's not going to move. He's going to reload and stay right where he is. And that is the end of the first round. Before I begin round 2, I'll explain winning and losing conditions. There are a total of 5 in-game conditions, but only one is for winning, of course. And that is finding all 9 objective tokens, capturing them, and then exiting with all your Marines through Sector 3. The losing conditions are if you run out of Xenomorph dice in your dice pool, and you cannot place any more when you have to place another one. Any squad has lost all 3 of their characters, so if you lose all 3 characters in one squad, or if the tracking deck runs out, or if the Xenomorph phase cards run out and you have to add another card and you can't, those are the 4 losing conditions. Alright, now we're going to begin round 2. We'll flip over, and it's red. Drake starts it off again. And I think Drake is going to move. I'm going to move him here. There's no debris there, so if I can move it there and this card doesn't have debris or any Xenomorphs, then he can engage. And it has Xenomorphs and a objective token, so we'll put the objective marker out. And it places 3 Xenomorphs, so Drake is going to engage those 3 Xenomorphs. And we'll move him here. We're going to use, I want to use both Drake and the Grunt. Even though Drake has enough firepower to take on those Xenomorphs, I don't want Drake to take damage. So when you have multiple attacks by your Grunts, you get to choose who takes damage if there's damage applied. Unfortunately, there is debris on the board, so I cannot send the extra firepower into this tile here to help out Hicks. So we'll grab the dice and roll. And it looks like 2 kills and 1 wound token will be applied to the Grunt. And that will end Drake's turn. Flip over another card, and it is Drake again. So Drake is going to take his last Grunt and attack that Xenomorph. And it is a kill. So clear Xenomorphs out of there. And that will end Drake's turn. Drake still has 1 more card left in the deck. Commander's Choice. I'm going to use Hicks. I'm going to have Hicks attack the Xenomorph in his sector to try to get rid of it. And it is a kill. So I've cleared all the Xenomorphs off the board, which is good because the more that's on the board, the longer it takes, because you either have to kill them, you have to decide between killing Xenomorphs, finding objective tokens. You got to find that balance, because as they exit, the hive track goes up more and more Xenomorphs can be hitting the board. So right now, we're sitting up at a position where we can start collecting objective tokens. Xenomorph phase marker goes up 1. This time it's green, which is Vasquez. So Vasquez is going to move. There's not any debris there, so move 1. And she's going to stop and collect this objective token. And I want to place it on the secure nerve gas, because I can destroy up to 3 Xenomorphs in a single tile that does not contain any of my Marine squads. So that's a good one to have. I'm going to try to fill that one up first before I even place them on the other ones, because that can come in handy. Now, when you place an objective token, you place it where it shows the Marine symbol side up. And when you use the objective token, you flip it over and you'll see a red X over it, designating that it has been used and you cannot use it again. And that's to identify between a available objective token and one that has been used on the objective cards. Flip again, Xenomorph. This time we go into Xenomorph phase actions. We moved up to marker number 9, which lines up with the Xenomorph icon. So there are not any Xenomorphs on the board, so we skip attack and we skip movement, so we go straight to spawn. And spawn is, it's a bad spawn. So we're going to spawn 3 Xenomorphs in Sector 1, 3 in Sector 2, and 3 in Sector 3. So you can see how this happens. So 3 go in Sector 1, they all go right there because it's not a tile there yet. The next 3 will go into sector 2. So you look at the tiles before you place them back here. This tile can take 2 Xenomorphs, so I put 2 there. This tile doesn't have any, but this tile can take 3, so I put my final Xenomorph there. And then 3 in sector 3, so grab 3 more. And there's a Xenomorph icon there for 1. There's another one for 1. And this one goes at the back of the tiles. And now we've spawned our 3 Xenomorphs. There is not any text at the bottom of the card. So we can continue with our mission now. So now my Marine's got a lot of work to do again. So let's see who comes up next. Yellow is for Hudson. Hudson just has his grunt left. Hudson can either attack, he can either attack or he can collect an objective token, and he does not need to lay down a breach, but he cannot leave because he's in a sharing a space with Xenomorphs, and he doesn't have any allies in another tile next to him. So I think Hudson is going to... I think he's going to use his grunt to attack. I wanted to reload, but I need to get rid of these Xenomorphs. And we have 1 hit and 1 damage token. So this grunt has 2 damage tokens out of the possible 4 he can receive. Now we end Hudson's turn. Xenomorph phase, we go to number 9. We add a Xenomorph card to the discard pile. Now there's 5 Xenomorph phase cards in the deck. Flip over another one. It is green for Vasquez. So Vasquez is going to use her center grunt. And there's debris there, so she can't attack across. So she's going to focus on destroying this Xenomorph in the space with her. And it is a miss. Yellow, which is Hudson. So Hudson's going to have to reload his entire team. And there he's reloaded. Xenomorph phase goes down to number 1. So now we go attack, movement, and spawn. So we'll start with attack first. Hudson's grunt takes a hit. That's 3 out of possible 4. Between Vasquez and Drake, I think Vasquez will take the hit in this tile here, because her grunt does not have any damage yet. Or Vasquez and Drake, yeah. And then Hicks, his grunt takes 1 hit. And now we move. These 3 Xenomorphs will move into the tile with Hudson. And this Xenomorph will move into a tile with Hicks. And this one also move into a tile with Hicks. Now we flip over and we spawn 5 Xenomorphs in Sector 5. Whew. We're getting swarmed right now. And there's not any text about that card, so... And that ends the Xenomorph phase. Now we go back into our actions again. Red is for Drake. Drake cannot do anything except for reload or move, but I think he's going to stay where he is and reload because there's only 1 Xenomorph there. And they can't attack for at least 3 more cards. Blue is for Hicks. Hicks has his grunt. I think Hicks is going to go ahead and reload also. And Hicks is going to jump ship. I take that back. I'm not going to reload Hicks. Instead, I'm going to move Hicks into this space with Vasquez and Drake, and then he's going to reload. Or he can't move. There's debris there, so he's just going to reload. Yeah, I messed that up. So, nothing you can do. He cannot move because of debris, and he's sharing a space with Xenomorph, so he's kind of stuck where he is. Next one is Hicks again. Since he reloaded, he's going to attack. Him and his grunt are going to attack all 3 of these Xenomorphs. And we killed 2, and one of them take damage. It'll be his grunt. And flip over another card. It is green, which is for Vasquez. So Vasquez is going to... She can move. I think Vasquez is going to move here. She's going to use her special ability. We're going to attack the Xenomorphs there. They're sharing the space with Hudson, which means she gets +2 firepower, so it gives her a total of 4. And we have 2 kills, 2 misses. One of them would have been an attack, but instead it moves into the space of Vasquez. And now flip over another card. It is blue for Hicks. I think Hicks is going to use his last grunt and engage his Xenomorph here. And it is a miss. Final card flips over. It is yellow for Hudson. Hudson is going to deplete himself, and he's going to engage those 2 Xenomorphs across from him. And he killed both of them. And that is the end of round 2. Alright, let's begin round 3. I'm going to, in an effort to try to find as many objective tokens as I can to get in and out before we start spawning too many Xenomorphs to handle. I'm going to split my group into 2. Have 2 explore and 2 fight Xenomorphs. So let's go ahead and begin the first card. 11 is for Hudson. Hudson's going to go ahead and just grab that objective token, and we're going to place it on the nerve agent or the nerve gas card also, because I feel that's our best card out there. Next one is green for Vasquez. She has a line of sight. There's no debris or rubble, so she's going to use her last grunt to engage this Xenomorph here, and she kills it. And she's completely depleted. Yellow is Hudson again. Hudson's going to move south. I'm going to move into this area here. There's rubble here, so it's going to take me 2 action points, and he can't cross over to there because there's rubble there. So instead of so he's stuck there. So I'm going to go ahead and just throw down a breach. That would be one. Even though it's only going to be one, it's going to use up all of his action points. Actually, I'll put the breach here instead. That's smart. Either way, he loses all his action points when he moves again. Blue for Hicks. Hicks cannot escape because there's rubble there, and he can't go into that tile. There's not a marine in that tile, so he's going to just go ahead and reload and hold tight and hope he doesn't have to fight soon. Or get attacked, I should say. Xenomorph moved up on the phase track 2 times for a total of number 3. Yellow is for Hudson. Hudson is going to move into this tile here, and there's nothing there to put except for rubble between us and the Xenomorphs. So he's going to move here. He's going to go ahead and reload himself. 5 Xenomorphs, and the maximum firepower he has is 6 with all 3 team members. So he's going to need his. He's going to need to be ready. Red is for Drake. Drake is going to begin his exploring because he can't engage there and drop into breach in this action. So we're going to flip over the tile going this way, and it is he's going to spawn 2 Xenomorphs and an objective token. So he moves here, spawn 2 Xenomorphs, and of course he's going to fight them Xenomorphs. He'll use his center grunt for that. And 1 kill and 1 miss. Blue is for Hicks. So Hicks is going to engage the Xenomorph with his grunt. And it is a kill. Hicks again. Hicks is going to, he's going to move south. He's going to explore south. And this is a blank tile. And I think he is going to, well, he has 1 pile of rubble there. I think he's going to go and just drop a breach here. Xenomorph phase. Now we get to go through the Xenomorph phase attack. So Drake is going to take a hit because there's 1 Xenomorph in this space, so his lead grunt will get hit. And then these 5 Xenomorphs will move into Hudson's space. And then we'll flip over a Xenomorph card. And we'll spawn a total of 6 Xenomorphs. 2 in Sector 3. So that's 1 and 1. 2 in sector 4. Okay, there's no icon there, making sure. So these two will go here. And 2 in sector 5. These two will go here. Flip over another card. Another Xenomorph. So it's on 5 of the hive track. 8 is the next Xenomorph phase. Wild card, Commander's Choice. I think we're going to go ahead and have Hudson engage those Xenomorphs. And we have 4 kills and 1 miss. Not bad. Vasquez, she's going to, let's see, I think I'm going to move Vasquez. I'm trying to see best avenue to approach. I think I'll move here 1, 2, and then reload her. So that way she can engage into here if she gets another opportunity. And she does. So she's going to use her center grunt. She is going to engage that Xenomorph here. And she missed. Now it's into the tile with her. Drake gets to engage the Xenomorph. He's going to use his lead grunt to engage it. And another miss. Number 6 on the hive track. And the final card is Drake again. See if Drake can finally take out that Xenomorph. He's going to have to engage himself. Kind of sucks, because if he takes another one, he's at maximum armor if he takes a hit. And he does, of course. So now he is maxed out on wounds. And that ends round 3. Alright, let's begin round 4. First face card is red for Drake. Drake seems to enjoy starting. He cannot do anything but reload. I mean, he has other actions, but reload is the action he should take. We'll capture the objective after we destroy that Xenomorph. I'm not going to throw down a breach when he still needs to be ready to fight. We have yellow for Hudson. Hudson also needs to reload. He can jump though. No, he cannot because there's debris there, so he's going to reload. Hudson again is going to attack. He's going to use the center grunt for that attack. And his center grunt takes a hit. I don't think my Marines are going to fare well in this game. Xenomorph goes 1 on the hive track. Green is for Vasquez. Vasquez is going to engage the Xenomorph she's sharing a space with using herself. She's going to use herself. She has enough armor protection. And she kills it. We have blue. That's Hicks. Hicks is going to, let me see here. Hudson is in a situation, but in the next one, they all move and there's 1 attack. So I think I'm going to explore. It is what it is. I need to find more objective tokens to get out of here. And Hicks moves into the square here, and there's nothing there, so we're good. And he's going to reload his Marine, by the way. Flip over another card. It is green. So Vasquez is going to I'm going to move her into the square with Hudson and then reload her team. And Xenomorph phase, which is good. There's an attack. So the first Xenomorph attack, so it's Vasquez is going to take the hit. Her grunt is. So I get the right token out there. The next one is on Drake's team, so his lead grunt takes another hit. And then we have nothing but movement. This will move forward because it's not adjacent. These will move into here, and these will move into here, and we're going to spawn some more Xenomorphs. There's no text on there, but we spawn 2 in sector 1, 2 in sector 2, and 2 in sector 3. 1 and 1. And that ends the spawn. Flip another card over. Xenomorph face track again. We put another Xenomorph card into the discard pile. Up to 6 now. Blue. So I wanted Hicks to explore, but I think I'm going to have to start fighting with Hicks also. If I move north, he can't move. So he'll take 2 action points. 1, 2. He'll use a center marine to attack, and it's a kill. Hicks again. Hicks is going to use his lead grunt. He's going to engage these two because there's open doorway and no rubble in the middle. And we have 1 hit, 1 miss. That Xenomorph moves into his space. Commander's choice. I'm going to use Vasquez, and we're going to engage all of these Xenomorphs using her entire team. We have 3 kills, 1 miss, actually 2 misses, and 1 attack, and that will go on her center grunt. Alright, Drake is going to use his center grunt again to try to kill this Xenomorph finally. And of course he misses. His team, I tell you, by the time he gets done, his gun is going to send his team back to the range and start re-qualifying with all the weapons. So they have not hit that Xenomorph in, I think, 3 rolls. And we Xenomorph phase again. We move and or attack and a move. So there's 2 attacks happening in this space here, and they're both going to attack. Oh, that sucks. Because either way they get a 4. So I'm going to put 4 on Hudson and a 3rd one on Vasquez's grunt. Drake's team takes another hit, and Hicks's grunt takes a hit. And then we move these Xenomorphs escape, so we move up 2 on the hive track, so we're guaranteed to pull another Xenomorph phase. And now we have 6 Xenomorphs that have escaped out of a possible 30. And they said in losing conditions if I don't have any more dice to spawn, so then we lose there. So I got to really stay on top of this. And now we flip over another card, and we spawn 3 in Sector 1 and 3 in Sector 5. I really like Sector 1 and 5 a lot. And there's not any text on that card either. Flip over another card. It is yellow. So let's see, Vasquez. Hudson is going to himself engage those 2 Xenomorphs. And he kills both. Flip over another card. It's green for Vasquez. She is going to reload. Flip over another card. It's red for Drake. He's going to use his grunt. He's going to try to kill the Xenomorph this time. Finally, kill the Xenomorph. And flip over the last one. And go up on the hive track. Xenomorphs attack and move. So Hicks gets another hit on his lead grunt. That's the only one. These 3 move here. And we have another 3 escape. So it brings us to 5 on the hive track. Flip over another tracker card. And we spawn 3 in Sector 5. Jeez. And there's 9 text there. And that ends that phase. And the round is over. Alright, let's begin round 5. Blue for Hicks. Hicks is going to deplete himself. He's going to engage that Xenomorph. And he killed it. Next one is green for Vasquez. Vasquez is engaged these 3 Xenomorphs here. With herself and her second grunt. Oh man. 1 kill, 2 misses, and those misses result into counterattacks. So she's going to take 1, and her grunt is going to take the other one. Alright, Hudson, he is going to reload because he's not going to risk his grunt. We go up to his number 6 on the hive track. Commander's choice. He's going to use Hudson to attack those two Xenomorphs. And we'll use Hudson himself. And one kill and one miss, which results in a counterattack. I'm almost out of wound tokens. About to max out everybody, looks like. Number 7 on the hive track. And number 8, Xenomorph phase. So we take some, let's see here. Hudson and Vasquez, they get to attack, so I'm going to put the attack on Vasquez's grunt. Only because Hudson's grunt's maxed out and I don't want to start flipping yet. I'll explain how that works real soon now. Then we go to movement phase. These three will move into with Hudson and Vasquez. And there's tile. So we spawn 3 in sector 2. So 2 will go here and 1 will go here. And that ends Xenomorph's phase. Flip over, yellow. Alright, Vasquez she is going to reload and stay right where she is. Drake is going to grab this objective token. And I'm going to put it here where on the obtain video evidence, activate anytime, move all Xenomorphs in a single tile to an adjacent tile. I think I want to move these out, but the problem I have is there's not a breach here. If there's a breach, I could do that. So I'm going to, but 2 more Xenomorph phase goes to another tile. I'm going to have to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and take this action, flip it over so the X is up. I'm moving all these Xenomorphs here. And then I'm going to take the secure nerve gas, which allows me to destroy up to 3 Xenomorphs in a single tile. I'm taking these 3 out. And I've used 2 of my objective actions out of the 3 tokens I had. So I still have 1 left, and that is the secure nerve gas. Alright, I'm going to flip another one over. In a Xenomorph, we add another card to the deck. I believe that brings us to 6, if I remember the count right. Green for Vasquez. Vasquez is reloaded. I'm going to move Vasquez to here. Only because the next one, if I spawn and if I get another Xenomorph face card, I don't want these guys to exit. I want them to come into a tile. So, and then she herself are going to engage that Xenomorph. Golly, that Xenomorph attacked and bit her. Alright, red is for Drake. Drake's going to explore. He's going to go this direction. And there's a blank tile. So that was 1. But because he lost all of his action points because he spawned a new tile. So, and he's going to reload his Marines. There's blue. Blue is for Hicks. I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to move Hicks. Move him here. Spawned 1 Xenomorph. So Hicks is reloaded. I got to reload him. He moved. New tile. Spawned 1 Xenomorph. And I had no choice but to reload him. But luckily Hicks is, so if they attack, I can use Hicks to counterattack or attack before they attack. Green for Vasquez. Vasquez is going to use her center grunt to try to take out the Xenomorph again. And it is killed. Red for Drake. Drake is going to, let's see, we can do 1 more tile. Tiles placements is a 5x6. So I'm going to go out 1 more. And we spawn 1 Xenomorph. And he's going to use his ability, his center grunt, to attack that Xenomorph. And it is a miss. His squad is definitely going back to marksmanship training. Another card is yellow. So what am I going to do with Hudson's team? I think I want to explore. I'm going to explore Sector 5 just to get a tile out there, since things like to spawn there. And his objective tile also has 2 Xenomorphs. So move here, spawn 2 Xenomorphs, and an objective token. And he is going to use his Center Marine to attack those Xenomorphs. And he killed both of them. Any card now is going to spawn another Xenomorph. And this card it is. Alright, so we go back to the top, or to the bottom of the hive, number 1. We attack first, so Drake's lead grunt gets another attack. Wound token. Same with Hicks's grunt, so they're both maxed out on wound tokens. I have 4 grunts maxed out on wound tokens, and 1 character, which is Drake. And then we move, these 2 will move here into Hicks. And now we spawn another tracker. We put 3 in Sector 3 and 3 in Sector 4. So Sector 3 is 3. And just make sure there wasn't a spawn icon there. So there's 1, 1, and 1 here because there's an icon there. And then Sector 4 gets 3. So all 3 will go here. Fix that breach. Alright. And that's the end of the spawn for that one. Flip another one. Hive track goes up another one. And final one is blue. So Hicks is going to attack the 2 Xenomorphs he is sharing space with. And he's going to... Whew, man. I'm going to have to risk it. I'm going to have to use my lead grunt. And they both got kills. So got lucky there. Take them out of play. And that is the end of round 5. Alright, let's begin round 6. Xenomorph phase, hive track 1, that's number 3. Yellow is Hudson, so Hudson's going to move, actually he's going to grab this objective token and drop it. Let's see, rating a character, move to adjacent tile. I think I'll have to put it right here on the nerve gas. Give me the option to get rid of 3 again that's on a tile. Flip over another card. Hudson again. He is going to move and then reload. Hudson, he got all 3 actions knocked out at once. I think it's a risk, but I'm going to move Hudson into this tile here. And I spawn 1 more Xenomorph, but it's also another objective token is what we need. So I think I miscounted last round. I needed 6 total. 1 was on the board. Now I need 5 total with 1 on the board. And so we spawn 1 more Xenomorph. So he's going to take on 4 Xenomorphs. And he's going to use himself and his center grunt. And all 4 kills. That's good. Red for Drake. Drake needs to go ahead and... Oh, I don't want to risk Drake yet, so I'm going to have to hold Drake where he is. I'm going to reload his team. Xenomorph goes up on the hive track, so now we have attacks going first. The first 2 attacks will go on to green. So here's where we see how the wound tokens work. Once a character is maxed out on wound tokens, you start flipping 1 over for each attack. You're going to look for 1 of 2 symbols. Actually, just 1 symbol. It's either going to be blank or have a KIA. If KIA shows up, sorry for chewing my words there, then your character that those tokens are on is instantly killed. If it doesn't show up, you keep your character on play until you flip all of them over. If all of them are flipped over and none are KIA, the next hit your character takes will die. So right now we're attacking Vasquez first. She's taking 2 hits, or her grunt. So we're going to flip the first one over. It's blank. Second one over. It's also blank. So we've gotten lucky. That is 2 chances that grunt gets to survive another round. Now we go over to Drake's grunt. He has to flip one over, and it is also blank. So we're lucky there also. So we got lucky. Now it's movement phase. These Xenomorphs move. This Xenomorph move here. This one move here, and this one moves forward 1. I have a choice to either move to the Xenomorph into the tile with Hudson or move it into Vasquez's. Made it a little more difficult for me. My thought process is, if they have to choose, they're going to move towards the characters closest to the sector of exit. And then we spawn, which is 3 in sector 2 and 3 in sector 3. So it's 2 goes there, 1 goes there. Sector 3 gets 1, 1, and 1. Alright, we'll flip again. Another Xenomorph on the hive track. Another one goes to the hive track. That's number 6. 7. Oh, it's a bad shuffle. Drake, he's going to use the center grunt, try to attack. And he takes another hit. This time it is Hicks. Hicks has 2 Xenomorphs he has to fight, so he's going to use the center grunt to fight those 2. And his grunt takes 2 hits. I'm out of wound tokens. Nothing in the rulebook says what happens when you got a wound token, so I'm going to have to just keep playing it through. In my mind, he should have 3, so when I clear out an entire board, I'll shuffle them up and draw whatever I need to on this one. Commander's choice. I'm going to use... No, I can't do that. I'm going to use Hudson. Or Hicks. Hicks is going to attack these 2 again. A hit and a miss. Or actually both misses. So Hicks has 1 wound. So I have a total of 2 wounds I got to put on Hicks' team. Flip again. Goes another hive track. We spawn more Xenomorphs. So more attacks. So Vasquez's grunt takes a KIA. So he's dead. So we'll flip them. So when they die, you move them all forward 1. Place these upside down, mix them up. I go 1 to Hicks and 1 to his grunt. Now that's right. And so that was, and then this grunt takes 1 for a total of 3, because we only had to flip over 2 out of 3. And then the next one is going to be on Drake again, because they can't seem to kill that Xenomorph. They got lucky. Then 2 on Hicks' team. 1, 2 a KI. This Marine is now dead. Slide these down. Flip it upside down. Try to mix them up. And that's it for that. So the attack's done. Now we move here, move forward, move back, move forward, and that stays where it is. And now we spawn another 2 and 2, 3 and 4. So we got 2 and 2, 1 and 1, or I'm sorry, 2 and 2 goes right here, 2 and 3, and 2 and 4. 1 and 1. Alright, we'll flip another card. It's green for Vasquez. She can't run and she's depleted, so she needs to reload. And I'm going to use my nerve gas again. I'm going to remove these 3 from play. And That's it. I don't have any other actions. I don't want to waste that by only moving one. We'll flip again. Xenomorph, we add another card to the deck. That's what I mean, like, they start coming faster and faster. You got to get rid of them quickly in the beginning. Blue, so Hicks is depleted. He needs to reload. He can't go anywhere, so he stays fast. Green, Vasquez is going to, her and her grunt are going to attack. And they can only attack a total of 4 of the Xenomorphs. Well, I'm over here something. And, oh my goodness, all of them are misses. And one actually fights back. And that goes on to, I'll put that on her to save her grunt. This is ridiculous. Vasquez reloads. Drake, he's going to, oh man. Drake needs to attack. He's going to attack. The way I'm rolling, this game is going to be over real quick now. And another miss. Golly. One more. And blue. Hicks, he's going to deplete him and his grunt, and they're going to attack all 3 of these Xenomorphs. And 1 miss and 2 hits. And that ends round 6. And it's looking really bad for the Marines at this time. Alright, let's begin round 7. I'll be lucky if I get through 2 more rounds before one of my Marine squads is completely destroyed, but we'll do our best. Green is for Vasquez. She is going to go ahead and exhaust both her and her grunt to engage 4 of the Xenomorphs. We have, 3 misses, 1 attacks back, and 1 kill. So we'll put that on Vasquez because she can take 5 wounds. Next one is Hudson. So he's going to reload and try to hold out and try to fight that Xenomorph next round, next chance he gets. Xenomorph marker goes up. Now we're back to 1. We're on the hive track again. So number 1 on the hive track. So we'll attack. Looks like Vasquez's team might get wiped out here. So we add 1 more. So we have 5 Xenomorphs with Vasquez. We add 1 more to her grunt. Then 2 is a flip. That's KA. So he's dead. I still owe 3 more attacks on Vasquez and her team. So we'll slide this up. This grunt is now dead. That's 1, 2, and Vasquez is dead. And that is game over right there. Lost an entire squad and could not get out of the situation we got in. And that's pretty much it. That's how Aliens Bug Hunt is played. It can be tough. I think the mistake I made is I probably, instead of focusing on destroying the Xenomorphs in the beginning, probably should have sped through all of the tiles, got them laid out there so I could find my objective tokens when the numbers were low. I think if I played this again, I'd probably do that in reverse and see how that played out. But we'll go ahead and close this out and go into our final thoughts. Aliens Bug Hunt, I like it. It's definitely a dungeon crawler. I'm a fan of dungeon crawlers, so I enjoy it. It's probably at the base level of dungeon crawling. And by base level, I mean there's not a whole lot involved. You get your characters, they have their abilities. You explore the facility, turning tiles over as you go. You're fighting aliens, and you're rolling dice on to see who wins the fight. And when the aliens' turn comes up, they attack you, they move, and they spawn. I mean, you can get more base than that, but in today's day and age of gaming, that's probably about as base as you want to get. But I liked it. It's a challenge. I enjoyed it. I'm a big fan of the Alien franchise, so I like that also. The artwork is great. If you look through the cards, you have 12 characters from the Aliens movie, and they all have their taglines on there. And if you look at the Alien cards themselves, the Xenomorph cards, they all have taglines from the movie also. So it's entertaining to look at those and read those also. So they did pretty good with the artwork. I liked it. The box itself is unique. Like I said, you look at the side. This is actually the box from the top view. If you stood a normal, the lid comes off like this, and that's how it's packed. So I like the unique design of the box. You know, you can stand it up so people can see it from the side or from the top, or you can just lay it down and store it however you want to store it. But the box itself is a unique box. When it comes to the rules themselves are simple to understand, but I'm not a fan of the rule books they put in here. They put 4 rule books in here and incorporates all the rules but broken amongst the 4 rule books. So each player would get a rule book and they would set the board up based upon the rule book, and when all 4 players finished setting the board up, you'd have the board ready to play. But the downside is if you're playing solo or with one other person, but mostly solo, you're combing through all 4 rule books trying to find the answer to a question. And so I was not a fan of that. So one on the line, and luckily Upper Deck realized that a lot of people weren't a fan of that also. So they created a streamlined rulebook online that you can use. I'm going to put that at the bottom in the notes, the link to that also. It made it a lot easier. I just opened up the link, read through it real quick, find my answer, and get back into playing the game. But for the most part, I'm definitely going to see this game a couple more times a year because I haven't beat it yet. I've lost 4 times in a row in this game. And every time I've picked a strategy, things have changed. I thought the strategy was working, and I lose. I try to go fast through the dungeon, lose. Try to go slow through the dungeon, lose. Try to split my Marines up, lose. Try to keep them together, lose. And it's not because the game itself is difficult. It's just, it's a challenging game. And like I said, when it comes to the dice and when you flip cards and tiles, you're really at the mercy of all 3 of those elements. So you really only control your Marines, and hopefully that their abilities are enough to help you overcome whenever you're attacking the aliens or moving through the dungeon. But like I said, I liked it. I'm going to continue playing it until I can beat it. And even when I beat it, it's still going to come out every once in a while. As always, thank you for joining me here at Gaming Solo. It is truly appreciated. If you like the playthroughs that Gaming Solo is producing, then it would be greatly appreciated if you give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button at the bottom right corner. Also, when you get the opportunity, visit the Facebook page Solo Board Gamers. I'm sorry. You can find the link below in the description and notes. It's a great group of people that also like solo gaming and kind of. There's so many solo games out there, variations. They can help you find whatever you're looking for. If I made any mistakes in this playthrough, please let me know in the comments below. Feedback is always appreciated. This is Gaming Solo, and have a great day.